Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. How y'all doing? Hopping on here to do a little New Year's rant. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Go. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? All right, so we're doing a little New Year's Eve live. I thought I would do a pick a pile, you guys. So let's see here. We're gonna pull for 2026. We're just gonna get some predictions since we're about to enter 2026. And we're going to be, yeah. I say it all the time. You guys, I did a live about the fire horse, so you can check that out. Let's pull a few oracle cards. You guys can pick which oracle card you like, and I'll do a reading for that based on that. Okay, and I'm going to be starting the sign predictions shortly. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to do a pick a pile, you guys. I'm going to pick out the oracle cards for you guys to pick out. Okay, so we have, ooh, I don't like these. All right, pile 1, 2, and 3. How y'all doing? So pile 1, we have expansion. If you're interested in expansion, I'll do kind of a work message for that one. All right. Oh, and then we have tender embrace. Tender embrace. So for love. And then pile number 3. And I'm going to do it in this order too. All right. So we have support. So number 3 will be more spiritual. All right. Support. Okay. So let's get into this reading, you guys, for pile number 1, expansion. This is the throat chakra. I'm going to use the same deck. I usually switch decks, but I got a new deck, so we're going to use this one. I love it. It's called the Tarot of the Abyss. And if you feel behind, it's New Year's, I feel behind, don't, because the New Year's does not start until March. The astrological New Year starts in March, and the fire horse, that energy doesn't start until February. So everything's going to be moving forward. We're coming out of this New Year stagnancy, or this 2025 stagnancy, and the horse, the wild fire horse, is going to ask us to move quickly or get stuck in another cycle. All right, so we're going to do support. It's going to be the third one. We're starting with expansion. We're reading for that. The throat chakra. Pile 2 is tender embrace, and pile 3 is support. This is more spiritual support. That's how I see it. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get some predictions for first pile, which is expansion. All right, expansion. 9 of Wands. Oh, wow. So I feel like a lot of you guys out here who could be having issues with your throat chakra. All right. Blue is the throat chakra. And expansion, the way that I see that is it's like whatever I'm trying to create here in my life, I'm really having difficulties. Okay. I met with the 9 of Wands. I'm tired. The 9 of Wands. So there could be some feelings of exhaustion. There could be some feelings of, you know, I don't know if I have it in me to persevere. Okay, why the 9 of Wands for this pile number 1, expansion? 10 of Swords. Okay, 10 of Swords. Yeah, I do feel like with this group, there is this sense of life has really kind of put me through it. Life has put me through it. What's the advice here? 10 of Swords. 2025 has really been a difficult year. It is the year number 9, and we're going into a year number 1. And I said it before, you guys, we talk about it all the time on here about how we're releasing karmic ties this year. That's exactly what I'm saying, okay? I think what you want, because we have the Magician here with expansion, we want to get out of this like victim feeling victimized, feeling like the world has all the control, and get back to your roots, with the Magician there. Because the thing is that when life beats you down, you can only stay down for so long. Things have to turn around eventually. Time is cyclical. And I feel like this is the time for you guys to sort of be the sorcerer of your own life, whatever it is that you're trying to expand in, to get out of this Ten of Swords. Because the Ten of Swords, it's not just a betrayal, you guys. The tens are the ending of a certain cycle to begin. The nine's the ending, the 10 is wrapping it up. It's like, I'm done with that. That's what the Ten of Swords is, because the swords are the thoughts. So it's almost like, I am not going to beat myself up over this, over whatever happened. I don't want to beat myself up anymore. I've really been through it. And now it's time to get back into creator mode, because you have all the resources at your disposal. Some of you guys could be surrounded by trees. Okay, so you have all the resources at your disposal to create something new here, to get out of this stuck energy. Expansion. What is it that the collective is trying to expand upon in 2026? Now, remember, January is the initiation, the activation of that new year energy, which doesn't really start, the momentum till February or March. And we're going to be in this Chariot energy. The fire horse it's very intense. It's very dramatic. It's very call to action. So the Chariot here, I see the Chariot as being before two life paths. It's like, I can continue to suffer with these patterns of repeat, the stuff that we've been repeating, relationships we've been going back to, thought patterns we've been going back to, or I can choose to go down a different road where I'm actually creating something that's going to expand for me, with expansion here. And it does look like there is like the world. It's like the world. Have you guys heard that song? I have the world on a string. How does that go? Something like that. Because you do, like, you have the world in the palm of your hand here, and you have the opportunity to go in a different direction or stay stuck and repeat these cycles. But with the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands, there's this sense of, I can't go on like this anymore. I need to go down a different road. I need to choose a different path for myself. And when we see the Chariot, it isn't always like I get in my car and I drive away or I move away. It can be that, because it can literally talk about vehicles, but it's metaphorically choosing a different life path. Sometimes that's just an internal mechanism that you've activated. It doesn't always have to be this grand dramatic thing that you do. Queen of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. And with the Queen of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, there's this sense of, I want to nourish, and I want to be emotionally invested in whatever choice whatever direction I'm choosing. Page of Pentacles, to me, whenever I see the pages, it's always something new. It's like something that I'm working towards, and hopefully it's more emotionally fulfilling, whatever it is that you're trying to expand upon. For some of you, it could be love. It's like a small step in that direction. And it starts by, letting go and looking out, knowing that there's new opportunities for you. If ever there is a card of expansion, it's the Two of Wands. Anything with the twos. So expansion, yeah. In order to actually expand your horizons, you do have to make plans. You have to make a vision board. You have to go online. You have to make an outline. And it's called metacognition, you guys. So when we have metacognition, that's thinking about manifestation. And all these manifestors out here, they never tell you what am I doing in the 3D reality to actually make something happen in my life, other than just magically thinking about what I want. So that's Pinterest boards, that's doing the research, that's If you're trying to date new people because you're tired of dating those narcissists or whatever, that's going to events, that's getting on online dating, even though everybody talks crap about online dating. But you know what? It's a step in the right direction. Hi. So, yeah, the Two of Wands is expansion. It's looking out into the horizon. It's e commerce, right? It's making a plan to act upon. Some of you guys, this could be about, an online business that you're trying to create, because sometimes I see the Two of Wands as like an online job or e commerce or something like that. And it's not always about love. Sometimes it's just about like what's better for you. Because I see sometimes when we go on YouTube Tarot that people get completely absorbed with how does Kevin, Tom, Sarah, and Jamie feel about me, and they completely neglect what's going on in their life. So we have other things going on in our life and we're trying to create expansion. And that's the only way to raise the vibration, or to when we say raised by vibration, we're really just talking about self-worth. We're really just talking about feeling good about yourself and having confidence and knowing that you're a high value individual. And you can't do that if you keep repeating the same thought patterns in your head. That's the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is ruminating negative thoughts, thinking about it, repeat. It's like PTSD. It's like Groundhog Day. It's like living the same thoughts and trauma over and over again in your head, not having any new ideas, not doing anything different about it, not feeling better about it. It's like beating your head against the wall. That's what the 10 of Swords is. And I feel like with expansion here, let's do something about it. Let's create a vision board. Let's do some research. Let's go to more events and meet some new people. And that's what the Fire Horse is going to initiate us to do come February, March, when the new year actually begins astrologically. Now's the time to start planning. Now's the time to, actually I'm not going to repeat that pattern. I'm done. I know I have opportunities. I know that there's other choices, other things that I can do, and I don't want to sabotage myself. So that's what I see for pile number 2, expansion. Some of you, I know this could be like a work trip or something that you're doing here, a new job, whatever it is, the sun. Some of you could literally be planning a trip in the summer as well, because the sun, I see it as a season. And believe it or not, 2026, the summer of 2026, for all the signs, is going to be actually a lot more positive than anything that we've seen in 2025 astrologically. So there it is. Keep the optimism going, keep the flame going, and put the plan in action for whatever you're trying to create, expansion. Maybe you need to talk more out loud about positive things that you're trying to create instead of, talking crap about the ex, or, complaining about your circumstances. Do something about it. Okay, let's get a secret message. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Let's get a motivation. Pile number 1, you're all about expansion. Mesmerized by your own light, self-hypnosis and affirmations. So yes, this is a total example of how to get out of the ruminating thoughts. Affirmations, self-hypnosis, seeing the positive within you and kind of pumping yourself up. I think that we all need to do that. Okay. So, tender embrace for pile number 2. I feel like the first one was really like a work message or a motivating message, or for people who feel kind of stuck in a rut. And pile number 2, tender embrace. So anybody who is thinking about relationships right now, I'm not pulling their feelings or anything like that. I'll leave that for the individual sign reads. What could come up romantically? Ooh, I'm just going to pull this card out because I love it. 2 of Cups, that's the mermaids there. This is, I think this is Pisces energy, but like the mermaids have their tails entangled. And this to me is an embrace. What I've been seeing a lot that's been coming out in the readings randomly, you can check out Aries' reading. They got a beautiful reading about expansion, about wealth, hand holding. So, you know what comes to mind when I see their tails embraced like that and the elephant's trunk is embraced, it's like hugging and hand holding. I think about that Liz Fair song. I can't say the title of it because it has a swear in it. But the lyrics are like letters and sodas, letters and sodas. It's like that old timey, that old fashioned innocent romance where you hold hands, where you hug, where it's not about a hookup, where it's not about what you can get from someone, tender embrace, you guys. And it's like, how do we as a collective get back to the, romance stories and believing in romance again? And, not being like, is this person going to betray me? Are they talking to a million other people on their Instagram? Um, and, honestly, I can't give anyone advice on this because everybody has different stories, different circumstances. But yes, this is definitely something that I feel like all of the signs, especially if you're on tarot, YouTube tarot channels, you want to get back to that letters and sodas, that hand holding, the hugging, the tender embrace, the being close. It's intimacy. It's intimacy. It's an emotional depth that I feel like is missing from most of the connections nowadays. Well, let's see what the cards have to say about tender embrace. All right, let's see. So what's going on in love for 2026 for the collective? The Tower. I've been seeing this a lot, you guys. The Tower's been coming out a lot when it comes to love readings. Because the minute that you let go of control, of trying to pull in a certain person, of desperately clinging to the idea of love, you just loosen up a little bit, relax a little bit. It comes in by surprise. And it's true. The Tower. That is like some kind of unwritten rule of law of attraction when it comes to manifesting love. It's like you can want it, but you can't want it so desperately that you're like this because that energy, that clingy energy, everybody runs from that energy. And honestly, the type of people that you attract when you're in that energy, not the best, not the best. So, anyways, the Tower is going to come in when you least expect it. 100%. A lot of the times, it's not going to be the type of person that you would have thought because you're too in your head trying to control the narrative of how your love life is going to unfold. And there's such a thing as divine timing, right? If you don't want to repeat the patterns in your love life, kind of have to let go and let God. We have the Hermit. We're still in year number 9. We don't start year number 10, as I said, until February or March. This is the Hermit card. And I don't know, this to me is saying that like I'm just keeping to myself. The Hermit, but that's also using your inner wisdom. She's got a snake in her hand, and the snake is transformation. The snake is change. This is Scorpio energy here, and then there's the snake on there, which I also see. I see snakes as change spiritually because they shed their skin and they change. And I feel like the collective has to be able to embrace this inner change, this inner wisdom, this like I see red flags and I don't attach myself to that anymore because I've learned. Have you guys learned? Because if you haven't, then you're going to repeat the pattern. You're going to be dating the same person in a different body over and over and over again. I have to make you guys accountable in your love life. It's not always just the other person. We have a part to play in our love lives. And if we want this tender embrace, this mermaids with their tails entangled kind of love story, then you have to take ownership in your part that you play in the type of people that you attract. And, going back to that same person, that's on you. That's on you, you guys. So the Hermit, with this, first of all, we have to go out more. 100% the year of the Hermit. I know we have to go out more. We have to meet more people. You have to learn the lessons of the past. Eight of Swords. Yes. And get out of your head. I see this so much lately, you guys. People are really scared to go outside their comfort zone. I have so many people in my chats. Does Dylan like me? Does Kevin like me? Does Sarah like me? Well, did you tell them that you like them? Or are you just sitting there obsessively thinking about it? Did you do anything about it? I can't help you if you don't actively do something about it. I can't. So come out of your head because you're keeping yourself stuck. A lot of you guys are keeping yourself attached to people, places, and things that you know aren't good for you because you're scared. And unfortunately, you have to take the risk at some point. And, take the blindfold off, get out of your head, go out there and make some conversation. Tell people how you feel, mix it up. I'm not saying beg, chase, cling. Have a conversation, flirt a little bit, invite someone out. Don't be scared. Yeah, this is Pisces energy. Knight of Swords. Also, slow down a little bit in dating. I've made this mistake, you guys. Listen, I have gotten so excited about people. So excited about people that I didn't do my due diligence and I got screwed over royally. And I'll say this all the time. Don't attach yourself to someone until you've thoroughly looked them up. Okay. Sometimes you literally have to do a background check. Okay. And I've learned some pretty scary things by doing that. And take your time because we're still subconsciously attracting people from our trauma unless you 100% know. You know what? I am fully aware of the mistakes that I make in attracting people. I am fully aware that I need to take my time because people will pretend. They'll wear masks, they'll lie to you, look them up on the internet, do a background check, take your time, ask a lot of questions. Really got to ask a lot of questions because, we oftentimes are so distracted by how someone looks that we forget the devil wears Prada, right? And I'm saying that 100% because you can take a rock and dress it up to look like something else. You can't fall in love with their looks. You can't let that distract you. You have to be real about it and take your time and ask questions like, okay, what's this person's soul? And we have the 10 of Wands. I know it's not easy, you guys. It isn't easy, but we have to have a better selection process and not get so eager and attached. And who cares if they like you? Do you like them? Do you know what their deepest, darkest secrets are? Do you know what their insecurities are? Do you know what their exes would say about them? That's 100% important. We don't need to go into, dating and start talking about our traumas and stuff like that. But if we did, you could make a better selection of who we can. Everybody has red flags. And, 10 of Wands, it's really hard to date. It's really hard to unpack all the baggage and all the trauma, but you have to. Because that will 100% take those rose-colored glasses right off so you can see someone 100% clearly for who they are, the snake that they are, or whatever. King of Pentacles. And I love the King of Pentacles, but the King of Pentacles really, to me, that's looking at a relationship like it's going to pay my bills. That's not romance. And that's the other aspect, that when you get older and you have your money together, your finances together, and you're single and you're connecting with people who don't got it like that, you have to really consider maybe they just like me for what I have, for the status. And that's like the opposite of where we started. We started here. Now we're way over here, asking more questions, slowing down. And then we have Ace of Pentacles. I love this card in this deck. It's a tree. It's a tree, and there's a lady's body on there. So This is a new start, and we are about to be at the beginning of the year in a few months. So a lot of people are going to be thinking about, where do I go? What do I do? What do I invest? How do I invest in a relationship that's going to bear some fruit? Take your time, ask a lot of questions, do a background check. Also, are you really are you guys really ready for this kind of love? For this kind of love? For that? This is a siren. You guys know what a siren is? Men can be sirens too. So, the devil wears Prada. What does that say? Yeah, the devil wears Prada. I'm telling you, the devil wears Prada. They're making a sequel to that movie. I'm super excited, you guys. Have you guys seen the movie Materialists? If you haven't seen the movie Materialists, it really just goes into the perspective of gold diggers, and we have to be realistic. Think of it this way. If I want a fairy tale relationship, then you're probably going to be disappointed, more than likely. So the selection process has to be more realistic. I just don't want a gold digger. I just don't want a liar. I just want someone who can pay to take me out. Maybe they're taking me to Taco Bell and that's all they can afford. I love Taco Bell. Let's run for the border, okay? Not sponsored. Materialists, that's the name of the movie with Dakota Johnson. She runs this matchmaking program in New York. People pay her to match them up. And honestly, it's really scary to get into the minds of people when they date, because they're really not thinking about romance, and they're thinking about superficial things. They're thinking about money. They're thinking about eye candy, and they're really picky. Yep. Shallow, superficial, vain, greedy, materialistic. That's what that movie's about. And that's the reality of people, of humans. So you have to ask yourself, is that me? Am I like that? Because that's not what this is. This is just an illusion. So yeah, I highly recommend watching that movie Materialists. It's very eye-opening to the reality of dating. And, we have a fantasy of the idea of what we want, this tender embrace, this hand holding, this love, or someone who's going to pay my bills or things like that. And the reality is, I don't know, it's devastating. It's devastating out there, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Page of Pentacles, but you can start small and be realistic, be real hopeful, and start small. So, and I always say this, you guys, when you're meeting somebody, you really just can't get too attached too quickly. Take a detached approach. What's the outcome here for what? So yeah, I feel like in 2026, I feel like it is really more about getting grounded and getting stable and being realistic. You can still have these old-fashioned ideals of romance, but we have to be real. Ooh, I love how this Ten of Swords came out in reverse. Yeah, and this to me 100% is like completely getting over the past betrayals in love and not letting that dictate. Because sometimes when we've had a lot of difficult relationships, or we've been hurt, we've been stabbed in the back, we've been betrayed, we can only see relationships from that lens. And when you fully transmute this and fully get over it and still have that optimism and that hope, that really helps set the stage to not repeat, the betrayals and things like that. So yeah, I love it. And Knight of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, I love that. The Knight of Cups really is not like, you have to be able to discern when you meet someone who's idealistic if they can really work together with you. Because the Knight of Cups is the Prince Charming, but there's somebody who does not deliver, right? They're idealistic. They're the poet. They're gonna lure you in with their beautiful words and their beautiful ideas and paint a pretty picture, but then they don't know how to work together with you. They're not consistent. They're not grounded in reality, right? And then when all that romance goes out the door, when they get what they want, you realize, well, they live with 3 roommates. How are we going to do this? Or they live really far away, or they're too busy for me. The reality sets in. So we can't be like too wrapped up in this fantasy and illusion of the letters and sodas and hand holding that we, overlook the reality in the 3D reality. Okay. So, yeah, let's get a motivation message. But yeah, a lot of you guys, I could be met with like head over heart decisions in love and in romance, head over heart, because it's like we can embrace and we can be romantic, but in reality, are we really like able to get together and plant a tree? Will it really last? Will it really bear fruit? Is it just a flight of fancy? So, to be real with yourself, don't lie to yourself when you're attaching yourself to people, because that's really self sabotage. Let's see. Your thoughts don't control the outcome, your patterns and actions do. That's literally what I was saying when I was saying that, like, um, let me read that again. Your thoughts don't control the outcome, your patterns and actions do. Your patterns and actions control the outcome more than your thoughts. Because I think that people get really stuck in their heads and they overthink things and they get stuck in analysis paralysis. Do they like me? Do they like me? Do you even know them? Are they even worth getting that upset over? Are they going to be around, long enough for that tree to blossom and give you fruit? Or are they a paragraph? Are they a chapter, or are they the whole book? So that's something to think about with this Knight of Cups. They come in, they're cute. They'll sing you a song, and then they'll sing that same song to 5 other women or 5 other men in the same week, right? And then when it's time to pay the check, they'll disappear. Hopeless romantic types. All right. Okay, so we're going to do the third oracle card I pulled is support. I see this as spiritual support. It says, expect help. A divine power more magnificent than anything else that exists on the planet is ready to support our every move. And, when things fall apart in our life, you have to realize that it's divine support, right? Like, for example, any time that I have tried to hang on to a job or to a person or to a friendship where it seemed like I was pushing a rock up a hill, I always regretted it because the divine was trying to protect me from something that I thought I wanted that wasn't right for me. That's sometimes what divine support looks like. So sometimes divine support looks like they didn't text you back, or they cheated on you, or you didn't get that job, right? That's sometimes divine support. So we have to start looking at things that don't go our way as God intervening, divine intervention, because we couldn't do it ourselves, because we couldn't see the forest for the trees. Hey guys, hi. So yeah, prayers, affirmations, spells, whatever you do for your divination practice to get support. Maybe you have visions, maybe you have dreams, and the divine, sending you synchronicities, sending you messages, and try to guide you as much as you can. If you believe in spirits, if you believe in your ancestors or your guides or your angels are always there, have awareness. That's why it's really, really good to get out of your head and to look around. How do I feel? What random thoughts come in my head? What song comes on the radio? Do I see any synchronicities? Because that's divine support. Divine support comes in ways that we don't expect it. And I get messages from the divine through music, and intrusive thoughts sometimes are not intrusive thoughts. Those are other people's thoughts. And the divine is wanting you to know, this person is thinking this about you right now, or that. It's not always pretty. So pay attention, have the awareness. Divine support. What do we have for those who are interested or wanting divine support? for 2026. It shows up in a lot of different ways, you guys. Oh, all right. So Three of Pentacles. Yep, there it is again. I keep getting this image of hands being held and like ropes and like levies and ropes and things like that. So Three of Pentacles is support. It's collaboration. Some of you guys, I feel like there are three entities or three ancestors in particular who are like watching over you, who are like guiding you right now. There's three different ones. And they're watching over different areas of your life. So they're trying to give you support here. What is the support that's coming in from the divine? Expect help. It doesn't always show up the way that you want it to. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So now the Ace of Cups can be new love, because maybe you're asking for support in your love life, but it's not just love, it's self-love. The Ace of Cups is like a new source of emotional fulfillment. And I feel like a lot of you guys could have been asking the divine, asking your spirit team for this love, but your spirit team is saying that for you to get this fulfilling whatever, new love or hobby or whatever, you have to start treating yourself better. And I know you guys don't want to hear about self-love because it's boring, right? But it starts with self-love. So if you don't support yourself, if you don't love yourself, trust me, if you are very critical of yourself and you think you're unlovable, then your team can't help you because you're not going to do what they're telling you need to do, okay? Self-love. The key to romantic love or attracting a partner who adores you is to have higher self-worth, higher self-esteem, be fulfilled by yourself, be fulfilled when you're single. Because if you're miserable when you're alone, you're going to be miserable in a relationship. That person's going to be miserable too, and you're going to be bringing more suffering into the world, right? That's the way it works. That's how karma is. Trust me, karma is just your actions. It's your thought patterns and your actions. Okay, we have Wheel of Fortune. So the divine, when it comes to supporting you, is trying to change things for the better for you. But once again, you have to do the work. You have to start talking to yourself differently. You have to start treating yourself differently. You have to start saying no faster when you see red flags. You have to stop centering other people. Okay, because a lot of the times people come to YouTube Tarot because they're a little bit obsessed with one particular person, and they're putting this person on a pedestal and they're neglecting themselves. That is the way to get taken advantage of, you guys. I'm telling you right now, if you don't put yourself first, if you don't put yourself on the pedestal, then you're not going to be treated right. You'll be taken for granted. So divine support is trying to come in to give you these blessings, and they're telling you what you need to do to attract the type of partner that you need, not that you want, that you need, that your spirit really needs. So don't neglect your needs. You have to ask yourself, what are my needs? What are my expectations? Am I even aware of what I expect a partner to bring to the table for me? Or will I just take anything? Just, they gave me attention. That's all I need. You need more than that. You have needs. You have deeper needs. You have spiritual needs. So listen, when the divine is trying to tell you that person's not right for you, if you're confused, if you're wondering how they feel about you, they may not like you that much. And honestly, it's not important, because it's more about compatibility than it is if they like me. Because you can have all the chemistry in the world with someone and still the relationship won't work, right? For whatever reason, since they're probably not meant to be there. King of Wands. So I love this because King of Wands is very charming. And sometimes we need to be a little more charming. We need to be a little bit more confident. We need to have like that je ne sais quoi when we enter a room. So developing that, and we have Page of Wands. This is good news. This is like a message from a fire sign. So fire signs come out a lot when we talk about passion, because fire is passion. So yeah, find your passion again, find your confidence again, find your je ne sais quoi, build that up, learn how to flirt. If you don't know how to flirt, it's really, I'm telling you guys, it's important. It will change your life. Learning how to be cheeky, learning how to be like, hey, I got it like that. Just, it's changing your personality, but it's not that you're changing for someone else. It's that you're stepping into the highest version of yourself. It's almost like, have you guys ever seen that movie Hitch? Will Smith is showing Kevin James how to be more smooth, how to be more cool, how to be more confident, and get people's attention. It's good. It's good for your personality. It's stepping into your highest self. And that's 100% important. And for anything that you're doing here. So when you go and get a job, when you go and try and get a new job, you want to be more confident. You want to be more congealing. Congealing, is that a word? You want to be more like I have swagger. Is that still a thing that the kids say? Anyway, some of you guys could be getting a message here from someone. Remain cool, remain confident. Queen of Pentacles. I love the Queen of Pentacles because the Queen of Pentacles is really nurturing, but it's like knowing that you have the resources to support yourself and to be independent on your own. Because if you're not, that can create codependency when you're not emotionally and financially dependent on yourself. Yeah, there it is, strength. So I feel like Spirit is saying here, we're sending you support, but you need to be a little bit more confident, a little more resilient, right? Embrace your fire sign energy. We all have every element in our chart. This is Leo energy here. And it's also restraint. 100% learning how to have restraint. And there's this new song she did a collaboration, Hayley Williams, she did a collaboration with Roses Sumney. And I like it. I love that song because it really talks about how when you like someone a little too much in the beginning, before you really develop that kind of relationship with them, you're going to scare them away. It happens every single time. So this is like, it's kind of learning the tricks of being confident, holding back a little bit, showing interest, but not being clingy, attached, showing interest without being clingy and attached. Okay. So I think that's important when it comes to attracting people. But as far as spiritual support, also developing more confidence, having more resilience, and being more nurturing to yourself. Because it's really attractive when people are confident and they say no more. It's actually very confident and it's very attractive. So setting healthy boundaries. There we go. See, there's that whole theme of holding hands again. They're holding hands right here. This is cute. The 10 of Cups, the 10 of Cups is actually a happy family. And if you have a chaotic family unit, if there's strains in your family dynamics, believe me, that's going to show up in your relationships. So hopefully you guys have a happy, healthy dynamic with your family, because you need to have that support system in place. You can't rely on your partner the way that you do your family. But also I feel like with support here, I feel like your guide is trying to tell you to cultivate some kind of support system for yourself. If you don't have a family like that, because you can't rely 100% on a partner or a friend, or you have to spread it out with your support system. So who is your support system? And hopefully you have family that you can rely on and that you can be supported by. What's the outcome here? I do feel like some of you could get like a message from a fire sign here, or a Leo, something like that. The Page of Wands is a messenger. Oh, yep, there it is again, the holding hands. Can't see the hands, the hands. Some of you guys are going to be holding hands. I can't get over it. Okay, there it is, holding hands. Letters and sodas, holding hands. And once again, this is the tens. So 10-10, you could see 10-10 on the clock. If you see 10-10 on the clock, pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to what you're thinking about, because the synchronicities are your support team, letting you know whatever you're thinking or doing, there's something important about that right when you see it. And I love this, that we're pulling so much Leo energy, because what this says to me is, you know what's sexy, you know what makes you feel more confident is doing well in your career, having a community. Like, because the Six of Wands here is victory, leadership, recognition. It can also just be getting attention. So some of you guys just need to be seen more. You just need to get more attention more. You know, what is it that you excel in? Is there something that you have a skill that you do really well? Because if so, you know, doing that more will help you have more confidence in your day-to-day. But also having a community of support. It's almost like it doesn't matter if things go well in this area of my life because I got the homies. At the end of the day, your family unit, even if it's your friends who are your family, is more important. And I always go back to this Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins interview, because if you don't know who Smashing Pumpkins is, and Billy Corgan, they were a band from the 90s and they got really huge, right? And he got really famous, but he did this interview and he said it doesn't matter how famous you get. At the end of the day, family those are the people who are going to be there for you. If you lost it all, those are the people who are going to be there for you. Your fans will turn their back on you. So that's why I'm saying that you have to cultivate some kind of community for yourself, so that if something goes wrong in your life, it's not so devastating, because the people who are around you make life worth living. So get that community together, get that support, you know, the actual support in the 3D reality, because, you know, your ancestors can't be here in the physical form. So they want you to have people here to support you like that. Some of you guys could get an inheritance that is literally what the 10 of Pentacles is. The 10 of Pentacles is your legacy. So think about it like this. Whatever you're trying to build for yourself, when you pass, is that how you want to be remembered? Because if not, maybe you should pivot. Have you guys read that Matthew McConaughey book? He talks about, I don't know, red lights, green lights, and he talks about pivoting. Matthew McConaughey himself pivoted a lot in his life. I don't think he went to college not for film initially, but he ended up being this huge star, and he has this book out and stuff like that because he pivoted. He knows how to pivot, and he's confident, and he's charming, and he plays to his strengths. So you have to play to your strengths 100%, and think about the legacy that you're going to leave behind. I say this all the time. When you are dating someone, your whole family is dating them, and they're dating your whole family. Do you want to be remembered by this snake jerk that you dated? No. Because you become the people that you spend the most time with. So if your partner is a liar or a dirtbag, you're going to turn into that. I hate to say it. So if you don't like that, don't date that person. If you think that this job makes you look crazy, maybe it's not the right one for you. We shouldn't necessarily go after things because of appearances. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what you're doing for your highest good? And if not, what can you do to leave a better legacy? It's not always the amount of money you make either. Sometimes it's like a hobby that you have, and that'll be your legacy, but you just have a job. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I hope that you understand what I'm saying. A support network is important, but also thinking about the legacy that you're going to leave behind is also important. And that's something to think about in everything that you do. And it helps build confidence. It helps make life worth living. It helps attract people to you when you feel confident in what you're doing and you feel confident in your community, that the people around you have your back like that, and that they're not secretly like sending you the evil eye, because you never know. Evil eye can sometimes come from family. I talk about this all the time as well, because evil eye is misunderstood. And within the history, if you looked it up, what, like, for example, the red Kabbalah string or the little evil eye jewelry, that is supposed to remind you not to be jealous of what other people had. It's not necessarily warding off evil spirits. No, it's humbling you to be grateful for what you have and to not wish people to lose what they have. Instead, build what you have so that you don't have to be jealous of what others have. Okay, guys. I'll get a motivation message for this pile. And I am going to start the individual sign reads here soon, now that I know the sound is working. What did the pain teach you? That's your purpose. I pull this one a lot on here because, we come to YouTube Tarot when we've got our heart broken. And this is important because if you didn't learn the lesson, then you're just going to repeat it. So what did the pain teach you? That's your purpose. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope this reading elevated your consciousness in some type of way, shape, or form. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.